come on down. We're gonna switch it up a little bit. We decided to kind of bring you backstage of American Idol. This is just for the boys, sorry, Callie. Which one's mine? Wherever you want to sit, bud. I will say this, that, being a Rosman Tiger, you guys are really challenging what we believe that Tyree Allen is the greatest thing to come out of Murphy. And so y'all are giving him a run for his money. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I want to just take you a little bit backstage about Braden and Kellen and ask them personal questions. They don't know what's coming. I do. And so this is fun. You can see them sweat a little bit. But we're going to start with just a couple of questions for them, really taking them to what has been happening. Maybe y'all have seen him on American Idol. What you don't know is that you're going to see him again. In fact, you're going to see him this Monday night as they do Hollywood Week. But before we get to all that, Braden, just tell us a little bit. Did you actually think you would make it on American Idol, and how did it happen?
Okay, that's not an easy question to respond to, and I'll tell you why. But we'll get to that. So starting out, I got this email. I was sitting at work, and I was like half asleep. Got my hands on my face my hands, whatever. And I'm like staring at my computer, looking at spreadsheets and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I got an email. Let me go. Get your computer, makes a little noise. Like, no, you got an email. So I go look at the email. And I'm like, American Idol, what the heck? And I figured it was a scam, like email situation. And so, click on it, I read it, it's like, hey, Braden Rumfelt, we are interested in you and want you to try out online on a Zoom, like fill out this information. And I'm like, what the heck? So I called my mom, I was like, hey, did you sign me up for American Idol? And she says, I don't know. And I was like, what do you mean you don't know? It's either you did or you didn't. Right? You'd have to be pretty intentional to sign somebody up for American Idol. Right? So I'm like looking around, I get this text from a random number, and it's like, hey, so excited for you, like just, holler at me when you can. I'm like, who is this? At the end it says, from Emma. And I'm like, I don't know, I know like 10 Emmas, like I don't know who this is. And so I talked to my mom, she just played like she didn't know anything. She ended up, actually, she did sign me up. She did sign me up, but they didn't respond back to her. They responded back to this other gal that signed me up, that was friends with my friend growing up. It's like this whole, like you can imagine me trying to figure this out in the moment, right? This is hard for you guys to understand, I'm sure. I'm kind of all over the place. Not because you're in Rosman, That's not, if I was going to make that joke, I would have done it in Rosman. Just kidding, sorry, bro. This is why I said not to live stream. Anyway. I forgot where I was at. But anyway, friend growing up, he always told me, he's like, if you do not sign yourself up, I'll sign you up, and you won't know. So they didn't tell me. They'd done this months previous. Like, months back, they had already signed me up. They just didn't say anything until they got a call back. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So I called them. I'm like, dude, are you for real? They're like, yeah, for real. So then, it's like the Zoom call. It's not the judges on the Zoom call. It's like producers and like people that mean something, but you never see them. So they're the ones that get everybody on the show. And some people I'm sure they get that are like really terrible, and that's like you get on and watch the show, and they're like, oh, they're awful. But I think that's part of like the TV aspect of things, because they got to make a show. If everybody got on and was just like out of this world, really, really good. I don't think a whole lot of people would watch it, just to be honest, because I know there's a huge population of people that watch the show and just get on there to hate, right? Like, you guys seen the comment sections and stuff like that. Anyways, that's how I got into it. And then, like, to answer your question whether I thought I was gonna to do well or get a golden ticket or like to get 3 yeses or whatever that was, I had no idea. And my confidence started declining when I got out to Nashville. and I get in this like they call it a holding room, but they rented out a coffee shop. And it was just this small coffee shop, which also that's like there's 1,000 people in this coffee shop. It's super small. It's like not the size of this gym. Like maybe a third, maybe. I mean, seriously, there's 1,000 people in a waiting line, like way out the door down the sidewalk. I'm like, we're gonna get up in here, like what? And I brought 17 people with me.
He has a big family.
Not particularly by choice. They just all wanted to show up. My cousin Cooper is here. He came too. So just added one more, but his shoulders were not that wide, so it didn't really matter. So it's okay. He's taller. He can look out for me. Anyways, but yeah, so I get in this big room. It's like hot. There's people singing, and I don't know if you've ever been around like a bunch of people singing a different song at the same time. That seems like something that would make you mad, right? Or like, get on your nerves. It gets on your nerves, okay? Everybody in the building singing a different song and different keys at the same time, playing 500 different guitars. It's like, I'm gonna freak out. I don't know what's going on. And mom's trying to talk to me, and she's like saying things in her mouth, just moving. It's like, but the people that I did hear, like the people that stood out to me, I was just like, oh my gosh, they're really good. Like they're really good. I don't know if I'm like, do I stand out in this? Like in this competition, like I didn't know, and then you know, I guess that you could liken that up to like sports, right? So it's like you go out on to the let's just talk baseball because that's basically all I was any good at as far as sports. And so you walk out on the field, the other team's warming up, the starting pitcher's out there and he's throwing gas, right? Like we're talking Smoky Mountain Conference gas, so like low 80s. Right? And you're like, oh my gosh, like we don't have anybody on our team that does ace. Our ace does max 77. And you get up there, and then you figure out there's nothing special about the guy throwing in the low 80s. It's all coming in straight, right? You just gotta time it up a little bit. And so that's kind of what I kind of use to like kind of calm myself down. I'm like, this is no big deal. It's just 3 of the most famous people alive. And go in there and kill it, whatever. But that's the general idea. Sorry.
All right. I'm just going to give you the mic. You can ask your own questions. I'm just kidding. All right, so here's what I want to know. When you guys went in, and if you hadn't seen it, you got to go watch it. But Braden and Kellen get to do it together, which is super special in its own right. But my question is, how in the world, well, this is two questions in one. How did it feel to have Carrie Underwood go like this to you? And when you smirked, was it because she did that?
Okay. All right. So, listen. I told you I was calm, right? I lied. Okay. I was walking in there. I was tripping out bad.
Yeah, let me butt in.
Go ahead.
So they told us to be quiet, going through the door. It's a loud door. I open the door, Braden goes in front of me, and he's, it's about from here to the doors away from the judges. I'm like, shut the door real quiet, trying to be respectful. And I turn around and he's already standing up there.
Yeah, I left him. I didn't know what was going on. So just to give you an idea of what's going through my head, then he opens the door and I'm like, all right, let's go. And so my brain has this thing that happens to me when I'm like in a high stress environment where it just kind of just shuts off and I just got to go on autopilot. And so that's what happens. I'm like, my vision's super blurry. I'm talking to them and I'm honest, I don't remember anything that was said. Luke Brown's like, hey, where are you from? I'm like, Murphy, North Carolina. He's like, what's in Murphy, North Carolina? Sounds familiar. I was like, you got a casino? He was like, yeah, I know that casino. It's a Cherokee Home casino, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, you know that. Yeah. So, but that's Luke Brown. Let's get to Carrie Underwood looking at me like that. So, all right, that all ties together. I went in my right mind. I didn't know she was looking at me like that. If I did, it was like in the back of my head. That's why I smiled. Like, it was probably more likely that I was smiling at Luke doing this. Y'all started to do that. I don't know what that was. But That's far more like what is he?
I took that as a like extremely good compliment. That was like his I'm super impressed face.
Yeah, no, I've seen people that are just like, yeah, you know, like they're like, it's gross. They're like in a good way.
All right, another question. What does a typical day look like? So we're about to step into Hollywood Week. What does a typical day look like for you, Hollywood Week? What are we gonna see on Monday night? Behind the scenes, what does it look like?
Okay, so this is probably the most boring part of the whole ordeal, but typical day Hollywood Week. So you wake up before the sun comes up, it's dark. And you're like, and you walk into this room, and there's a short lady that meets you in the room with, well, I was always late, so it was already filled when I walked in. I used to think it's tough, you know, okay, I'm not used to that. I walk into a room, there's a little short lady, it seems like she's been up for, I don't know, like 3 hours, just like hammering monsters. And she's just like yelling. She's like, all right guys! And she's great. If she was here and she heard me saying this, she'd really be pissed. But, or mad, sorry. Look, it's just real talk, okay? She'd be mad at me for talking about her in this way. But she's yelling, that's the first thing. She's like, all right, you guys better get ready to go. It's like, I don't think she smokes, I didn't smell on her, but it's kind of like the same. Kind of the same, like, grit in the joke. Sorry. We'll get serious later. But yeah, it's just like, from the moment your feet hit the ground, it's like somebody's yelling, like, get in line, we're going here, like, don't talk, here's a wristband, you're not allowed to go to the bathroom unless anybody goes with you, you're not allowed to go get lunch unless anybody goes with you. It's like, there's gotta be some, like, security person with, like, a little headpiece, like, ear thing in, that's like, drop off copy. Braden is at the drop-off copy. And he's just like, this is way too serious. Like, nobody even knows who I am yet, so it's not really gonna be like a huge deal. I know there's some like legal liability issues if someone gets like kidnapped on their staff. Who would want to kidnap me anyway? But yeah, typical day. So then they bus you out to wherever you're gonna go, and this is kind of how it's been the entire time. Like I'm not gonna tell you that I'm fast or whatever Hollywood Week. Right now it's just Hollywood Week. That's all we have to. That's all we have to think about, right? It's just one Monday at a time. And so it's been like this. So it's like busy. Somebody's yelling at you. Really short lady, really loud lady. Okay, now we're going to the holding room. We're gonna sit there for 30 minutes. Then you're gonna go run through with producers, executive producers. You're gonna run through it for however long they want you to run through it. Then you're back out somewhere else filming B-roll, which B-roll I didn't know what that was either. You gotta like pretend you're nervous, you gotta like go around the town, and it's like 5-second clip of you like walking by a coffee shop. 5-second clip of you like sitting on a park bench. This is real, I don't know if you guys saw this, but like you're sitting on a park bench and you're just like and that almost took some of the like nervousness away of me, like, cause I'm like, I'm not that nervous. Like, I'm not like sitting on a park bench by myself, wring my hands nervous. But I'm like, I don't want to go in there right now, you know what I mean? So kind of like, I was like, okay, let's calm me down. I'm not that nervous at least. And so, and then you go and you run through it with the stage and the big band, and they've got like professionals, and that's really cool and it's all fun, but it's like super fast paced, and you feel like you don't get a chance to catch your breath, and then you're like, you gotta go to the bathroom, but they don't want you to go to the bathroom, you gotta keep doing stuff on the stage. And it's just kind of like hectic for the most part. But it's super fun, everybody's super sweet, even though the short lady that yells, her name's Amy, she's a very sweet lady. Like, don't get me wrong, everything that I've ever needed, she's been like, oh, we've got you. She's just loud, some people are loud, my dad's loud, I'm loud.
He is.
He is loud. Anyways, go ahead, you got one question.
All right, so let me pass it over to Kellen just a little bit. So Kellen, as the brother, like, what's your experience been like? Because when they say the singer, they mention Braden's name, but there's, I mean, your twin, who's older, by the way? All right, your older brother. I mean, but you're playing the guitar. What's your experience like? How's it been?
It's been really fun. There's not been a whole lot of pressure on me. I haven't had to do as much of the stuff that he's had to do. Normally when he's out filming, I'm just sitting in the holding room with everyone else. But that was cool. Got to make some good connections and meet all the other contestants. And it's just been real fun and a great opportunity. I'm just glad to be doing it with my brothers. So.
Yeah, they've grown up playing sports together, singing in church together, and getting to do this together. That's pretty awesome. And so, what a dream come true. Let's switch gears a little bit because we talked a little bit about American Idol. But Braden, we'll start with you. Kind of give us a 2-minute testimony, just how you came to know the Lord, salvation. Obviously, he was a drug baby. If you don't know what that, he was drugged to church. His dad's a pastor, and so they were drugged to church their whole life. So just give us a little background.
That scared me. I was like, dude, what? That explains a lot.
That explains a lot.
Nobody even told me this. I wouldn't even been that mad. Like, all right, things are starting to come together. Anyways, okay, my story. All right, I'll make this as short as I can. It's like 22 years and like 2 minutes. Okay. I was born. Anyways, I grew older. And as I grew older, I'm getting drugged to church. And my dad's like, if you're not saved, you're going to hell. He wouldn't say that to me directly. But he'd say that to the congregation. And like, I could think like pretty good, I feel like. Like I had like basic reasoning and like logic when I was like a small child. So I heard my dad would say like, you ain't saved, you're going to hell. He switched up his tune a little bit. It's more of like, Jesus loves you, you're going to go to heaven. Not so much like, if you ain't saved, you're going to hell. Right? But I heard that, it just seemed like that stuck out to me a lot when I was a kid. And I was terrified. Like, forever I was terrified. I was like, I don't want to go to hell. I'm like 5 years old. I'm not going to do well. Like, this is not for me. I got to figure something out. And so I'm like, hey, I'm talking to my mom and dad. I'm like, hey, mom and dad, I don't really want that to happen to me. Is there anything I can do? Like, you know, like I know you can saved. And then everybody's talking about like how old you got to be or whatever. And then I get a little older. I think I'm like 8 or 9. I can't remember exactly, but anyways, I kind of had like lost the idea. Like, I wasn't worried about hell too much. Like I'm like, look, I'm a safe guy. We'll be careful. And then, you know, one night at church, but the piano player that was with me up here, he was singing a song. I love Luke's voice. He's got a great voice. If I could make him sing, I would. If I could make him sing, I would. But he was singing a song. I can't remember what it was. I think it might have been Amazing Love, how can it be that you, my king, would die for me? And then it clicked. I was like, wait, Jesus died for me, for my sins. Like, that's amazing. I love him. I want to go to heaven with him. I want to get saved. And so that's how I found God. Like, that's how I found God. And so, then everything was smooth sailing from there. Just kidding. I broke my back in 8th grade. I don't think my 8th grade year we had to come here, but that's neither here nor there. But I was playing basketball. Broke my back in 8th grade, and then I did it again a few months later. And so that spiraled. I was like, dude, I love sports. Like I love playing basketball, baseball, this stuff, because that's kind of all I knew outside of singing. But I wasn't very interested in singing. Like I thought that it was like, I don't know, if you're born with something, you just don't automatically think that it's cool or that like it's a blessing from God. You just don't really understand that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this has always been a constant, right? Like you never know what you got till it's gone. So like people that lose family members and stuff like that, they don't realize how blessed they are until they, pass on. That kind of like puts it in perspective. So I was playing sports and stuff like that, and then I broke my back, and I didn't know I was blessed with like being able to move and stuff like that till it was gone. And so that kind of like, I didn't look at it that way when I was a kid. It kind of sent me into like super bad depression, really young age, like couldn't do what I wanted to do. But it wasn't so much that made me so depressed. It was just kind of like I grabbed onto the thought that I kind of wasn't worth much. And it didn't really have much to do with sports anymore. It was like, I'm not worth much. And then, we keep on rolling, and Long story short, sorry, I'm going way over the tongue. Oh, I can't shut up.
2 minutes is 10 minutes, okay.
Yeah, 2 minutes is like minimum 2 minutes.
Good.
I thought you said 10, sorry. Anyways, long story short, go to a church in Ohio. I didn't want to go to Ohio. My dad's an idiot. He's like, come on, boys, like, you're 14 years old, you gotta go to Ohio and sing for my buddies. I gotta, you know, that's not how he is. This is how I looked at it. I was like, this is so stupid. Like, I really don't want to go to Ohio. We get to Ohio, we're singing. This guy comes from the balcony. He's way up here. He comes down. He's like, hey, I know you got a back problem. I know it's hard for you to stand out there for like, I couldn't stand for like more than 15 minutes, something like that. He comes down. He's like, I'm going to pray for you. The whole church comes and they pray for my back. And then, back heals. God healed my back, right? So let me say that one time. Guy comes down from the balcony, which is supernatural, you know what I'm saying? Like, this stuff doesn't happen, you know? I was talking to somebody the other day, I was like, they were like, why do you believe in God, something like that, and I was like, I don't really have a choice. Like, I've seen him do his thing, you know? Like, people are like, oh, I've never seen him work or do any of these things, and I'm kind of I was kind of like one of those, like, logic people where it's just like, that wouldn't really make sense to me that much, right? Like, I could see both ends of the argument. And, but then I saw him do what he was doing, you know, and I was like, okay, yeah, right, this is right, you know, like I have no room to doubt, like it's just a 1 in a trillion, like, chance. Like, the doctors told me it'd never heal, I fractured my back, the whole 9 yards forever, and then, you know, it's healed, so, and then I'm like, whoa, let's go, you know, back to playing sports, and, you know, I struggled with anxiety and depression and stuff like that for longer, but, it was kind of like my start to like getting better, right? And then I broke my legs. I couldn't play ball anymore. Both of them. I'd show you scars, but they don't look that bad. But they cut my lower leg like 98%, like the bone down there, in half, hammer wedge, and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that to complain. I'm just telling you that that's kind of how I got to this spot, like on American Idol, like singing, doing what I love. I didn't know how much I loved it until it's kind of like all you can do, you know what I mean? Like, you're just kind of like, you can't run, you can't get one pickup, like, it's never really good at shooting, these boys know. These boys right here know, I'm not that great at shooting. I mean, I made like 4 in a row or something. Yeah. This was earlier today, this is my boys over here. Anyways, yeah, that's just kind of what got me here. That's like my story. Sorry, that was more like 6 minutes.
All right, Kellen, how about you? Give me your, an actual 2 minutes. Give me your 2-minute testimony.
I'm sorry.
I am thankful that God has allowed Braden to be on such a big stage that he is now, because of how powerful and how big of a testimony that he has and all that God's brought him through. And that's not by chance that God put you here. And you can touch a lot of people you already have with your testimony. But mine's a whole lot more boring, I would guess, but it doesn't make it any less important. Thought I was saved when I was around 8, and kind of the same lines. Like, I knew right and wrong. Like, I thought I knew what was, and I just knew I didn't want to go to hell. And so I went up to the altar. My mom and dad prayed for me, and I did what I thought I had to do. But at that time, I didn't really understand everything. But go through the years, high school, college. I won't sugarcoat it. I rebelled. My parents, mom and dad, just wanted to do my own thing after kind of being forced to go to church my whole life. And I just wanted to do my own thing. So, but in college, I started feeling the pull back from God, like, you need to come back. Like, this isn't who you are. You know, this is, you're influencing people in awful ways. And this is gonna show on you when you're judged. So, went through college. I dropped out because of a a bad living situation, and also a great opportunity with the job that I still have now. But fast forward probably 6 months after I got out of college, it was 2 years ago, last September. I was sitting in the balcony, still not running from God as much, but wasn't fully sold out like I needed to be. And Ricky Coe was preaching, and I felt the pull of God like I had never had, and it was so clear to me that I needed to go down to the altar and make things right, to make sure, because I battled with for years, like I can sin or whatever, and I don't feel bad. I don't know that I'm saved, but I got it right 2 years ago, last September. The peace that I've had, and there's no doubt in my mind that I'm saved, and I'm just grateful to Jesus for allowing me to have that second chance, and He'll give you that second chance to show you.
Amen. Yeah, so one of the things that Kellen, y'all give me a applause. Maybe you're sitting here tonight and you've maybe went through the same things. I mean, these boys look real good, but you know what? They've had to go through a lot. They've had to endure a lot. And maybe you went through a lot of challenging things in your life. Maybe you've endured a lot. Maybe your situation doesn't look ideal. Doesn't look like it's stage worthy, but God is using that as a testimony, and He can use that. So tonight we're here to worship, but you know what? Wherever you find yourself, whether you're in need of salvation, whether you need to rededicate your life, whatever your need is, come to the Lord. As they've already said, there's nothing worth, no amount of sports, no amount of money, that is worth not missing out on what Jesus has in store for your life. And so I'll leave it at this. One last question, Braden, I'll leave it for you. What would you leave? All right, we got a lot of young kids. What would you leave, just one thing for our community to sow? Or what's one piece of advice that you would give them as a Christian, maybe experiencing what you have experienced, part of your testimony, to keep going on, be encouraged with the Lord?
Gosh. So I guess I have two things. It's like, number one, your body's not going to last forever, okay? Mine just happened to quit a little bit sooner than everybody else's. So you need to find something that makes you whole inside. It's not like just material, you know what I'm saying? And I mean that in the sense where it's like, I love baseball, I can do that in college, you know? Like, yeah, college is not, unless you're like really stupid or like you got some kind of COVID rule going on, you're not going to stay very long. And so you got 4 years for the most part, usually. And so like those things that you thought were your world, like your priorities change. And you need to find something that you love so much. And like, I'm not saying for you to go sing. I'm not saying for you to like follow what I did. I don't know. I'm not even like successful yet. You know, like I'm having some success on TV and stuff like that. But even without that, I still love this. Like I still love that. And, you know, I love singing for God, and I would just kind of like, my advice would be like to find something you can do for God, because that's like more fulfilling than like, I'll play D2 ball up at Mars Hill. You know, like, I'm not saying.
Tyree has gotten a lot of bits in that.
I didn't even know you did. My fault. You went further than that. I was talking about my dad. He didn't say that. But you knew that. Yeah. That's why he's not mad. See, we know each other. We have history. All right. And then the other thing. All right. This is a little more serious. Look. So at your own church, right? If you go to church, right? Let me just say it like this. In my church, everybody loves everybody. I mean, you walk in, or at least they love on me. Because I'm like the poster, like, hey, there's Braden, the singer guy, you know? And they love me like special, like it's special to me. And I'm like, oh, I just want to go there and be around those people, right? And it's just like the want to go to church is just still so strong because I'm gonna get to go see a bunch of old women that are gonna like love on me like I'm their grandchild. You know what I'm saying? And a bunch of old men's gonna be like, "Hey, you're doing a great job." You know, it's like it's an encouragement. And I'm afraid that they don't do that to everybody else. Like I'm afraid that they don't do that to the random like kid that sits in the back coming in. But I wish they would, because then maybe that kid that comes like every 3 Sundays or something like that, he would come like I want to come. You know what I'm saying? And that's like my advice. Like that's like a huge advice. Like people say like show the love of Christ. But the way that I'm like giving this truth to you is like, it is real. Like showing the love of Christ is real, but you don't want to like put people first that like you think deserve it. Because God loves everybody the same, but we gotta love everybody the same. So like all these people coming here to see me, like, oh, y'all sign your shirt, whatever. Like, you want to take pictures? I'll sing for you. Yeah, but it's not about that. It's like, it's about worshiping God, and it's about like fellowship, like loving on each other. And I want everyone to be like shown love the way my church has shown me love. So like that's kind of like my advice to you, like to get people to come into your church, to get people to come in to do more of like the groups that you guys have, like showing that love like that. Like that's the only, for me, that's like the only thing when I was out like doing stupid stuff, because I did that too. We didn't check on that part. Like I was out like going crazy, losing my mind. All kinds of crazy stuff, but the thing that was like, I still want to go back, you know, if for nothing else, just to get loved on, you know, and like, that's some powerful stuff, so I'll shut up and we can sing a little more.
Awesome. Y'all ready to hear him sing some more?
Yeah.
All right, so as the band comes up, I want to challenge everybody, just as we kind of finish off that last song, stand up, worship, get on your feet.